Alright, Reaper Reviews back with another review for you today. Sorry guys, it's been 3 weeks. I was busy with bike week last week, busy with my family, so I didn't have time to upload any videos for you guys, and for that I apologize. So, I had technical difficulties with the camera, so I have to redo this whole entire video, so bear with me. So, you can get this off of, if you go to 5pawns.com, if you go on 5pawns.com and go under Castle Long Reserve, you can get it for $32.50. Like I said, it comes in, you guys can't see it because it's blurred because of the light. It comes in 3, 6, and 12 milligrams, and it comes in a 60 ml bottle. It also comes in, yet again, you guys can't see that, in a cardboard tube. When you first get it, the lid just pops right off the cardboard tube. When you open it, you guys get this, and the flavor profile is toasted coconut, roasted almond, brown sugar, 2 different vanillas, Madagascar vanilla bean, and French vanilla, Kentucky bourbon, and oak. It's also been liquid of the year after each limited production release, and they only make this flavor once a year, guys. It's a limited flavor, and it says thank you for continuing to appreciate our efforts. Now, I haven't done Castle Long review or anything from 5 Pawns on the channel because every time I went to go buy 5 Pawns e-liquid from a store, they've always had them ridiculously priced, especially in Maryland. Down in Gettysburg, I got it at a place, if you guys are in Gettysburg, by the ABC on Steinmar Avenue, for any of you tourists that are watching this that are vape, for $31 and like some cents. Anyway, this is a 50-50 blend, so I don't screw this up again. You have, which means this is perfect. These are perfectly balanced right now. Your max is up here like this, and your 50-50 is right here, so it evens out. So I'm gonna get into tasting this flavor because I know you guys don't want to hear me gab about the balance and all that. You guys are here for one thing and one thing only. Well, to see me review the liquid. So, without that being said, let's get into it. But this so the guy at the vape shop told me 2 different things. He said when you hit it on high wattage, you get more bourbon, and when you hit it on the low wattage, you taste more of the other flavors that are in there. And I'm going to prove that point right now. Oh, hold on. Okay. First thing I taste is that toasted coconut leading into that brown sugar and then the two different vanillas. Now, when I bump it up to exactly 70, straight bourbon. I was hitting it at a low on 69.7 watts, a little bit low, down from 70. And I tasted the toasted coconut, the brown sugar, and the vanilla right away. And okay, so I definitely taste on the low wattage the toasted coconut, the roasted almond, and the brown sugar, along with the two different vanillas. But when I hit on the high watts, I taste the straight bourbon. There's a lot. Okay. Excuse me, guys. And for someone who doesn't vape, this is kind of hard to describe because you don't vape and you can't really tell the palette of the changing of the flavors, but I can because I've been reviewing and vaping for a while, so I know change and when they stay the same. So high watts, it's that nice smooth bourbon taste, which I love a bourbon vape flavor. I found bourbon flavors and there are enough of them out there, and that's incredible that is doing that, because there needs to be more bourbon vape flavors because they're incredible to vape on. I've vaped 3 of them since I started. No, 4, including this one. So what I mean by there's a lot going on, let me explain it easier like this. And all right. What do you recommend to start with, since I would just be starting out with vaping? Sorry, my YouTube won't let me sign in, or I would ask off of mine. It all depends on what I recommend. Going to a shop and getting help with what type of mod you want to use, because that it's all personal preference of what mod you guys want to use. I'm not gonna get into this I'm not gonna get into this topic because it's all in the buyer and the consumer of what they want. Because you could go to 50 or like 100 more channels on YouTube, and one person will recommend a mech mod, and here we go, I'm getting technical. A mech mod is the built on runs on a single battery, meaning you cannot, not all the time. Some of the times you can put a tank on it, other times you can't. I don't recommend a tank on it. Which means therefore you'd have to put a dripper on it like I have on mine. And and with the building, you got to know what you're doing with your Ohm's law. Because if you don't know what you're doing with your Ohm's law, especially on a mech mod, one hit of a button of building wrong and that thing blows up in your hand like a bomb. Mech mods are very dangerous. This mod here, is a regulated box, which you can go on eBay and buy it for $60. This is called a Smock S-Priv. It's a 225 watt kit. You don't need to vape it on 225 watts. It takes two 650 batteries. I recommend starting out with using a tank on it first. And the next question I have is, if you can type this question to me, I will gladly answer it. How many cigarettes do you smoke a day? Or how many packs of cigarettes do you smoke a day? Because depending on how many cigarettes you smoke a day, that depends on how much nicotine in the liquid you're going to put into your system. A pack a day. All right. Well, if you want flavor for the liquid, I don't recommend the 24 because a 24 is really high milligrams of nicotine. So if you want to vape and still have flavor, I recommend 12 milligrams or 6. But it's all personal preference. Like I said, you're going to have to go to a shop and... All right. Yes, I highly recommend Jam Monster. Finally, somebody that understands my logic of where I'm coming from with this. So, Jam Monster comes in 0, 3, and 6. So, I recommend the Jam Monster. You can either go grape, strawberry, blueberry, green apple, blackberry, raspberry, peanut butter and Jam Monster, grape, or Throat Hit on the 6 is going to have a little bit of a burn, but it's not going to be as harsh as a 12. A 12 is going to make you feel like you're literally inhaling fire into your back of your throat, and it's going to burn. So, the Throat Hit on the 6 is not harsh at all. Actually, in this right now, this is a 6 mg, and there's hardly any throat hit. Very mild. But, all right. So, back to what I was originally going to do, with the flavor profile for this, with a lot going on in this juice, this is, what's the question? So, when I first go to going, I have no question or comment on this, and I don't have an answer. Like you stated, this is strictly a YouTube vape channel, and I would like to keep it that way. I've been getting bombarded about this for almost 2 weeks now, and I have nothing more to say about it. So, anyway, first thing I taste when I hit this on the watts is toasted coconut right away. Then I'm tasting that almond and that brown sugar. And then once after I start getting the low stuff, I start tasting that little bit of bourbon. But then when I crank it up to 70 watts again, bourbon all day, guys. Fresh old aged bourbon. Just like you would get in the liquor store. Nothing makes me happier than a bourbon vape flavor. It's smooth all day, and look at the cloud production, guys. Like, I'm fogging the camera out with this liquid, and it's a 50-50, which is telling you something. It's no wonder why this was so expensive in shops for so long, because it's the most premium liquid you could pretty much get, guys. This bourbon liquid, guys, is the best bourbon flavor yet that I've had, until I find that one. So, I'm going to get into the worst bourbon flavor ever. I didn't even buy this to do it for the channel, guys, because I don't buy liquid that is horrible, that I don't like. So, I was over in Hanover at a place called Vapor's Paradise. But the first time I saw this flavor, it was a cheesecake bourbon flavor called Cash Money. It was called Cash Money, guys. And when I read the flavor profile to this liquid, I knew immediately this flavor was going to be garbage. So I did my own personal review on this in the shop off camera, because I was not doing this for you guys whatsoever on this channel until I tried it myself to figure it out. Because before I do a review for you guys, I try the flavor out first. Unfortunately, this was one I couldn't do, but guys said bourbon. I have a weakness for bourbon flavors, so I went with the bourbon flavor. And this dude in the shop knew his. This dude in the shop where I bought this knew his shit. Like, he knew the exact flavor profile and didn't even have a flavor menu in front of him like most shops do. He knew it off his head, and it surprised me. Like, I was just like, that's amazing. And I appreciate the support for the people. So anyway, back to this Cash Money flavor, which if you go to Donnie's channel, Donnie MFNG, who is my buddy, he did this flavor himself before I ever got to tell him it was not a TNS approved liquid, nor a Reaper Reviews approved liquid. He did a review on it, and I tasted it. So the shop owner said, "Here, take the tester bottle and drip it on your dripper." Well, that's the worst mistake I ever made when it comes to a shop liquid. Regretted it. So, the first thing I tasted with this flavor was the harshness on the cheesecake. Now, it wasn't a throat hit on the cheesecake. What this was a weird combination. Don't get me wrong, I'm a bourbon fanatic when it comes to. I love drinking bourbon. I love vaping bourbon liquids. I love vaping them. Absolutely love them. So when it said bourbon, I was like, oh, yes, bourbon. Yes, not enough. Finally. Oh, I forgot. This would be number 5. Let's see, we had Decadence, the Butterscotch Whiskey, the Black Hat, Sandcastle, and 5 Palms Castle Long. That's 5 bourbon flavors. So the first thing I tasted when I tasted this liquid was the cheesecake right off the bat. And then it led into this. Then it combined with the bourbon combined with the cheesecake. That cheesecake taste plain cheesecake taste you bite into when you first bite into a piece of plain cheesecake with no strawberry topping or any of that shit on it. This flavor was absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't know how a shop bought this flavor and put it on a shelf for a consumer to consume and vape on. Not consume as an eat, because you can't eat the freaking vape liquid. Like, as soon as I tasted it, I was like, this flavor is disgusting. But that was my opinion. Like, I told her it was alright because I didn't want to hurt her feelings, but that flavor was fucking nasty. Like, I shouldn't sit there and vape on a flavor and say, this is the worst taste I've ever tasted. The bourbon's got a decent strongness to it, depending on what you're vaping at. It's like I said, you vape it low, you're not going to get much bourbon. You vape it high, you're going to get a lot of bourbon taste. Yep. And, but no, bourbon's not that strong. And, so, after I tried this flavor, I put my head down in shame, and I was just like, and she's sitting there going, oh yeah, it's one of my favorite bourbon flavors I've had yet. After I tasted this liquid, I sat there and just looked at the wall for a minute and just was sitting there thinking, this woman knows nothing about bourbon vape flavors whatsoever. She's never even had a good bourbon vape flavor in her life, and she thinks this is the most incredible liquid she's ever had. That flavor was trash. Now, you know how it goes. I rate my liquid on the taste, the cloud, the throat hit, and if it's going to taste like what it's going to taste like when I get the bottle. Sure enough, every red flag with that liquid was thrown up. Like, I wanted to right then and there take that test bottle and just right in the trash, because no human should vape that garbage. That was garbage of a flavor. I mean, disgusting. Like, I tasted that and I went, and I never do that with a vape flavor. The fact that it was just disgusting and nasty with the mixture of those two combinations, I could understand, like, strawberry and cheesecake. Yeah, they go well together because it makes a lot more sense. Bourbon and cheesecake? Really? Did you guys have a bunch of dumbasses who made the Cash Money liquid and just say, oh yeah, well, I drank bourbon last night and had a slice of cheesecake afterwards, so we're going to call it Cash Money and put bourbon and cheesecake together? What? No. Anyway, the video is not about that liquid. The fact that Donnie and I did the review off camera in the shop, tells me I was not reviewing that for you guys. That liquid was a 3. Not even a 3. It was a 1. Like, that's sad on the scale spectrum. This here, 10 out of over